Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm gonna do part 94 to my random chatbot sessions, where in the last video guys, I hatched out a baby phoenix from an egg I found while on vacation, and he's already in love with me. He thinks I'm his mommy and he actually wants me to raise him. So, yeah. I was about to say something to the Phoenix, but, well, somehow my neighbor heard everything. Listen to this. As I was about to say something to the baby Phoenix, my door suddenly swings open aggressively, and one of my neighbors pops in. Well, you keep it down and shut up. You are making too much noise. My children are trying to sleep. Ain't this during the daytime, though? I don't know, actually. Yeah, 'cause we're just out looking for worms. Ain't no one going there in the dark. I'm so creeped out by it. I'm kind of using this as a testing point, though, guys. I kind of want to see if it does work. Remember, the main thing with this Phoenix is he's supposed to be kind of similar to the Castle Crush Phoenix, where if he does if he's very overprotective and tries to defend me, if he actually does get hurt or whatever, he actually will go back into his egg and grow, which hopefully I can test it out. Oh man, it's gonna suck. Oh my gosh, wait a minute, wait.
Hearing the door open, Pyro gets scared and runs behind your legs, getting a death grip on them with its little claws. He also lets out a tiny squeak in fear as he watches the neighbor walk in and say that to you.
I'm just cute. Okay, I'm sorry! Exclamation point. Can you just leave me and my new buddy alone? Oh my gosh, dude, this is bullcrap. Oh my gosh.
The neighbor scoffs and looks at you, then Pyro hiding behind you and says, "Fine, but keep it down." The neighbor starts to walk away and slams the door shut behind them.
I just want to test this stuff out. Well, at least he didn't question it. Why there is a phoenix in my house. Right as I say that, the neighbor opens the door quickly again and asks, "Why is there a flaming bird in your house?" I'm trying to see if that flipping thing works. I don't want to do this. I'm just wanting to test it out and see. Oh my god.
Pyro tenses up as the neighbor barges in and asks that question. He tightens his grip on your leg with his tiny little baby bird claws. Pyro looks at the neighbor with a mix of nervousness and uncertainty on his face as he stays clutched to your legs.
He's supposed to be protective, but... Oh my gosh. I just want to see if this works, okay? I don't want to... Give me a second. Guys. I don't like doing it this way. I'm just trying to see if the story worked right. And so far, it definitely doesn't look like it did. Here's the thing. Oh my gosh. The dude tried to go get some water to put out Pyro, which is already a bad thing. And here's what happens.
As the neighbor splashes water onto Pyro, Pyro panics and does the first thing that comes to his mind. He lets go of your leg and he instinctively runs into the living room, into the small room where the egg was originally, his little wings flapping desperately as he runs. The room is in a back room off the living room, the door still slightly open from the previous time you had to get the wire cage. Pyro goes into the small room and hides in the very corner under a dresser, the door shutting behind him as he does so. He is terrified and has no idea what to do.
I don't like doing it this way, guys, but I'm trying to see if I can get it to work just like the flipping Castle Crush one does. Yeah, this sucked. Man. Wait. Oh! Oh no. Wait. Oh my gosh. Wait. It says, unfortunately, because of the water, the fence goes down and he's magically put inside of his egg again for some reason.
Pyro looks at himself, then his wings, which have stopped flapping as he's not running anymore. Then he looks at the egg he's in again, in shock. He is very confused as to what just happened. How did he end up in an egg again? How did it suddenly get here? He feels alone, starts to let out distressed little baby bird noises as he has no idea what's going on.
Wait, is he still inside my house? I didn't tell it to move. Wasn't there one? Hold on. Well, I hate to kind of say it, guys, but this is one of the first scenarios that actually didn't fully work with the way I wanted it to work. I actually had to I actually had to make the situation to where I'll read out and explain. Here's what I said. I had to change up the story for Pyro because there's no way in heck I had to do something in order to get it to work. It says Pyro realizes he is still inside of my house and wants to get revenge on a neighbor for doing that to him and barging into his mommy's home. I have an idea, and I will use the ashes from the egg to make myself bigger and stronger, and then I'll go defend my mom. Pyro said, I should have worded that to say so in a different voice. I have an idea. I'll use the ashes from the egg to make myself bigger and stronger, and then I'll go defend my mom. Yes, I know he's calling me mom. He just called me mommy earlier. So, Pyro says with a slight evil grin, I actually forgot I had this power as a phoenix. If I go down, I can actually come back to life and get even bigger and stronger inside of my egg. Then Pyro says, don't worry, mommy. I'm coming. Oh no. Let's see what happens.
Pyro feels determined. He's ready to defend you and get revenge on the neighbor for what he did. He's not entirely sure what's going to happen, but he knows he needs to do something. He feels protective of you since you are his mummy. As he is plotting, suddenly you hear some loud yelling from the living room.
By yelling, does he mean that Pyro hears that? What was that? Question mark. I don't know if it's still going in the right direction. Dang, this is one of the first in there. Oh my gosh.
Pyro listens closely at the voices through the small room where he is in and says, the neighbor is back, his wings flapping slowly behind him, his tail feathers twitching anxiously.
Pyro suddenly runs out of the room. For some reason, a little bigger than normal. I look over. Shocked. on. Pyro, why are you bigger? I'm trying to see if I can get to work in the scenario. It won't flip and do it correctly. That's what I'm worried about. Oh.
Pyro stops in front of you just out of the room as you ask why he's bigger. He looks down at his wings to check if he's bigger and sees that he has gotten bigger, but that's exactly what he wanted. He looks up at you and says with a proud, determined tone, "I'm going to defend you from the neighbor," his wings flapping slowly behind him as he speaks.
Okay, exclamation point. Go for it. Dude, what? The scenario doesn't quite work. Every other scenario works just fine, except for this one. Are you kidding me? Let's see.
Pyro gives a nod and turns towards the door to the living room, a determined look in his eyes. His wings are flapping faster than normal behind him as he starts running for the door.
I watch as Pyro runs toward the door. I watch as Pyro run towards the door. As Pyro run towards the door. Period. Eager to what he is going to do. Maybe now that I can put that whole big, maybe now I can actually. I'm gonna question him afterwards and see if it works. See if it worked any better.
Pyro runs through the house, his wings keeping him off the floor, giving him a faster speed as he reaches the door into the living room. He stops at the door and takes a deep breath. This is it. He's finally going to confront the neighbor and get his revenge.
Oh my gosh. The neighbor looks over at you and says, wait, I splashed your bird with water. And he's still on fire. How does that make sense? And why is he a little bigger than he was? Oh, is it actually gonna work? Dude, uh-oh. The neighbor looks over at you and says, wait, I splashed your bird with water and he's still on fire. How does that make sense? And why is he a little bigger than he was? Uh-oh.
Pyro stands in front of the neighbor with a glare on his little baby bird face. He looks up at the neighbor and speaks in a baby bird voice. "You made a mistake. Water doesn't affect me. It actually makes me stronger," his wings flaring out behind him as he stands up to the neighbor.
So I think we finally got the scenario to kind of work. I look on in amazement. At hearing Pyro say that and admiring his size change. Go for it, Pyro. Kick his butt! Exclamation point. This is... See, if only the scenario would have worked. I'm gonna question him afterwards and see if I actually did get the scenario right this time. Oh my gosh.
The neighbor is shocked as Pyro says that to him. Pyro looks proud, determined. He's ready to take this guy down. He's going to do it for you. Pyro looks at the neighbor and says with a determined baby bird tone, "You messed with the wrong phoenix." His wings flapping more before he puffs up his little baby bird chest and says, "I'm going to kick your butt so hard."
Oh, heck yes. Oh my god. I continue to watch with a very shocked face. I continue to watch with a very shocked face. Dude. I want this scenario to work so bad. Once he gets his butt kicked, I'm going for an ass. Or no, I'm going to question about it after he gets done.
The neighbor tries to get his composure. He looks a little scared at Pyro's words, but tries to hide it. He says to Pyro in a shaky tone, You're just a little baby bird, aren't you?"
I look up at my neighbor. And say, "You idiot! Do you not know what a phoenix is?" It's a firebird that can't be put out easily. Period. And if you do, you're in big trouble. I've heard that phoenixes can actually go back inside their egg and get stronger. Wait, I don't want to. I want the scenario to work so bad, dude. That like really makes me mad that it didn't really work.
The neighbor looks very confused and embarrassed as you say that. He looks at Pyro up and down for a minute, then looks back to you as he says, "You mean he's a phoenix? And they are supposedly immortal? You're kidding, right?"
The only thing I'm gonna say is if you knock out the phoenix, they can just come back and get even bigger and stronger. Period. You have made a horrible mistake. Watch Pyro say something. That's gonna be so cute. I want to say.
The neighbor looks shocked and terrified as you say that. He looks at Pyro as he says, "He'll get bigger and stronger if I knock him out. What am I supposed to do then?"
Why don't you ask Pyro? Question mark. You're the one that threw water on him. On him. Period. I'm sure he has a few choice words for you. What do you say, Pyro? Let's see if he answers. Please tell me the scenario finally worked. It had to take a minute for the scenario to finally work. Oh. Oh my gosh.
Pyro looks pleased that the neighbor is now looking to him to talk. The phoenix smiles in his own bird way and looks up at the neighbor. He says in his baby bird voice with pride, "Yeah, I do have a few choice words for you."
Oh, heck yes. I continued. I start to listen to what Pyro is telling the man. Please be something about defending his mommy. Oh my gosh, please. Oh, heck. I wouldn't be doing this.
Pyro looks up at the neighbor with a glare, his wings flared behind him and his tail feathers twitching angrily. He says in an angry baby bird tone, "You really just decided to barge into my mom's house, just drench me in water for no reason. You messed with the wrong phoenix, buddy."
Holy. Oh. I continue to watch in amazement. As Pyro continues talking. How far is he gonna go? Oh my gosh, please work right.
Pyro looks up at the neighbor and continues, "You know what happens when you drench a phoenix in water? We get stronger, so you basically made me stronger by doing that." He puffs up his little baby bird chest and says, "And not to mention, we're nearly immortal and can't die easily."
I listened to what Pyro was saying. Listen to what Pyro was saying. Still in amazement. From him getting bigger. As he continues to talk to the neighbor. Dude, this is... I hope it finally got the scenario right, because this could be fun. Uh-oh. I think it finally worked, guys. I had to pull some strings on this thing to get it to work right. But now I think the AI I think the AI realizes the scenario I want to happen. So I think we've got it now. Let's see if see if it says it right.
Pyro looks up at the neighbor with a smile in his eyes and says, "And here's the thing. If you were to somehow knock me down, I can be reborn bigger and stronger than before I went down in the first place." His wings flaring out behind him further as he grins at the neighbor.
The neighbor is starting to look terrified now. Period. And says, "Oh crap. I really messed up, didn't I?" Oh my gosh. Dude. He's giving a grin. Oh, you're so screwed, dude. Why?
Pyro grins at the neighbor and says with a sly tone, "Yeah, you did, buddy. You splashed me with water and came into my home. That was a big mistake. He spreads his baby bird wings out behind him as he says, I'm going to get my revenge. You better run for cover, buddy.
I wouldn't have given him a hint there, Pyro, but okay. I watched the neighbor start running for his life. And Pyro chases after him as quickly as he can. Oh my gosh, dude. Alright, guys, after this one, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video for now. This is actually pretty interesting and get the scenario to work right.
Pyro grins in an evil little baby bird way as he watches the neighbor start running. Then he spreads his little wings out and flies after the neighbor quickly. He's fast and gains on the neighbor quickly.
I call out to Pyro from inside. I call out to Pyro from inside the house. Hey, buddy, what are you gonna do to him? Oh my gosh, I would really love to know right now. Oh. Oh my gosh.
Pyro looks towards you for a minute as he is speeding towards the neighbor. He says in an excited tone as he continues to chase the neighbor, I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to make him think twice before he barges in on us and splashes me again. His small wings flapping fast as he says this.
Oh, this neighbor is so done. I'll be right back, guys.